Gotta read, baby.
We need to believe that all children can learn, but then what we need to act on is changing the word can to will.
All children can learn if adults provide high-quality instruction.
Perfect square trinomial, there you go.
All right.
Has this breakthrough in algebra turned your whole education around?
My whole life around, my whole future, everything.
People that say that low-income children, minority children can't excel at extraordinarily high levels are just flat out wrong. They just haven't seen the evidence.
The scores are increasing, but the gap is narrowing between different groups of students.
The evidence suggests we can do this if we learn from the high achievers and if we act.
Making Schools Work with Hedrick Smith.
My day starts at 5 o'clock in the morning and doesn't end till 10 o'clock at night. I'm actually just barely waking up, just getting the engine started, just chunking in the coal, just getting ready just to come to school.
Ronaldo Garcia is 16. He's in 8th grade. He and his brother are out the door early to make the bus. They live in Denver Harbor, a tough immigrant section of Houston. Ray is in middle school, a school age long ignored by reformers. But Ray attends a special school, a charter school called KIPP 3D Academy. 3D stands for desire, discipline, and dedication, a huge change for a kid like Ray.
I didn't want to come here, but my mom, well, she's my mom, she told me, all Mexican mom tells me, if you're going to live under my roof, you're going to do as I say. It was hard for me to transition into this school.
When Ray entered KIPP 3D Academy 4 years ago, he'd already been held back twice.
I was a pretty bad rascal back then. I would beat up on little people. I used to bully people around, little small kids, take their lunch money. We always get in trouble, get detention all the time, every day. Get suspended for fighting in the restroom, stepping up to my teacher while she was teaching in class.
But Ray was up against something new.
The 3D in the house! Yeah! Then give me a beat.
At the start of school, Ray had his first confrontation with 3D Academy's principal, Dan Caesar.
We were going over our chants and just being myself, still trying to figure out how this school runs and everything.
We say, is 3D in the house? And all the kids raise up their hands and say, yes! And Reynaldo raised up his hands and said, no.
I waved my head. I said no. And then he looked at me. He said it a second time. And I said no again.
I knew right then, here's the first test. The first person testing our culture. So I let him know in front of everybody in the room that that's not going to be tolerated. We all want to be here. We all chose to be here. If you don't want to be here, find the door.
But for some reason, I don't know, my conscience just told me just to sit there, that everything will be all right and we'll get through this.
Why was it so important to address it publicly right then and there?
When you're establishing a school culture, as we were, and we still are, you have to set limits. You have to set limits on the kids.
KIPP deliberately creates a culture of teamwork and loyalty that competes against the gang culture of the street. Mike Feinberg is a co-founder of KIPP, short for Knowledge is Power program.
A lot of new kids, they're not used to your system. They must have a bunch of behavior problems.
Oh, yeah, they have to get hypnotized early on.
Hypnotized?
Hypnotized.
What does that mean, hypnotized?
Hypnotized is, well, they have to learn what it means to be a KIPPster, which is they have to learn what it means to work hard, what it means to be nice, what it means to appreciate your teammates, understand we're a team and a family.
Above all, hypnotizing means pushing kids hard. The days begin at 7:30 a.m. and do not end until 5 at night. They start with a silent breakfast where students do what is called morning work. That's on top of 2 hours of homework, Saturday classes, 3 weeks of summer school.
Everyone's looking for the magic bullet instead of just getting after it and realizing this is extremely hard work. We need to believe that all children can learn. But then what we need to act on is changing the word can to will. So we need to act on the fact that all children will learn.
When you take the Saturday classes, the long day, the weeks in the summertime, how much extra time does that give students in an academic year?
About 67% more time in the classroom than what's found in a traditional public school setting.
That's a big difference.
Oh, it's a big difference. It's a big commitment, but one that has a big payoff at the end of the day.
3D Academy is a public school, and most of its students come from poor neighborhoods. But it's a charter school, and that means every family has chosen to come here. It's free, but to get in, all students and parents must sign a contract to live by KIPP's strict rules.
You wanted Ronaldo to go to KIPP.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a different school. Over here in high school, you see the police every day in there. They get in fight. They do drugs. And I don't want to be one of those mothers, they need to go and see my son in the jail because whatever happened in school,
Anybody who signs a commitment is eligible to come. Anybody who believes in the mission and understands, frankly, what we do, the hours, the homework. We talk to the students very frankly. We talk to the families very frankly about what our school is about and what our mission is. And remember, our goal at KIPP 3D Academy is college.
How about 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, boom, bitty, boom, 32, 36, bitty, bitty, bum, bum, 40, 44, 48.
The dream of college for these kids is the supreme motivator. It means they have an enormous amount of catching up to do.